You're creating something new and exciting that I want to know about. I was thinking it was like a community, but it's more than that.
Absolutely. So I am the founder of the Indigenomics Institute here nationally in Canada, as well as the founder of the Global Center of Indigenomics. What we do here in Canada is drive value creation in the Indigenous economy and connect that to how important that is to the national economy, as well as how we move forward in a low carbon global economy.
Yeah.
So, bringing Indigenous perspective and worldview around investment into structures of businesses and sustainability is really the focus of Indigenomics. From the Global Center, we're creating a global 24-hour digital online conference that is building the space for valuing Indigenous business models of sustainability and looking at that content as a contribution to humanity and for the long-term ability to create a World Indigenous Economic Forum.
Sounds like an undertaking, to say the least. What has been some of the challenges that you faced?
Um, My companies have grown considerably over the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and just the ability of really understanding my background is in business, finance, economics. I
Yeah.
didn't go to school to how to manage a movement, and it's literally turning into it's highly recognizable in the national context. There's very few people you'll meet that haven't heard of Indigenomics now, but in the global context, to actually realize that there's foundational to a movement of sustainable Indigenous economic worldview, of actually managing that and the engagement and the network and
Yeah.
system design, I think is both interesting and challenging.
Yeah. I'm so curious how you got here. Has this always been an idea that you've had, or has this been like even when you were little?
No, I did a master's in business, and I didn't feel that where the spaces that I could participate, even returning back to my home nation, um, being able to bring together perspectives of Indigenous worldview, business models, investment structures. There was a lot of space there for design, and that
Yeah.
really inspired me in this work. The concept really started moving forward through the hashtag Indigenomics, which created a distribution and a knowledge hub through it that I was able to build a lot of insights and build a knowledge development and active engagement as a platform through it.
Yeah. Very cool. Where do you see things going? Because it is a movement, but what is like your trajectory? Like obviously we have a plan for a year from now, 5 years, 10 years. I want to know what that looks like for you in your vision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, Through the Indigenomics Institute, we're building an AI research
Oh.
Indigenous economic hub. So, how value creation is happening, what that looks like, what are trends, engaging the financial sector in that.
Mm.
I'm particularly excited about that. We have some key strategic developments happening in that specific area at the national level. At the global level, we've just launched a global Indigenous technology house. So it's going to be an immersive dome that brings the space for the ability for storytelling, technology, economy, and culture at the
Yeah.
intersection to use immersive and virtual and alternative reality to support storytelling. And then, of course, the long term play is the structure for a World Indigenous Economic Forum.
Yeah. What has the impact been like just for you? Because obviously this is something you're passionate about and you're seeing success, you're seeing people know more and more about it. What does that feel like for you?
Sometimes it's odd. Like I just do my work and then I go speak at something and people will know who I am, or it's
Yeah.
just different that I'm so focused on what we're doing. I think the impact is just watching the realization of how much recognition there is of the concept, and that there's other ways of doing business, other structures of money, other perspectives around sustainability and how to live that isn't based on kind of tipping point concepts of the end of Earth or the end of humanity, but
Yeah.
more how do we actually live conducive to Earth's capacity and to have a responsibility to our future. So I think creating the space that values that perspective is important to me.
Awesome. And what have been some like key milestones for you?
I think that the launch of the Global Center of Indigenomics was one for sure.
Yep.
The marking of $100 billion national Indigenous economic trajectory annually, I think, was essential of bringing visibility of the concept into Canadian reality. The others would be the generative AI system and research hub that we're developing, and of course the Global Indigenous Technology House and Indigenomics Now as a 24-hour online conference. I'm super excited about. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was so nice to talk to you, and thank
Yeah.
you for like all the work that you're doing. It's
Yes.
really cool to give back and do something really meaningful that changes things in a
I'm
big way.
super
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good.